I decided to write this speech about my grandfather, and I call him Papa. He's a pretty cool dude, and I love him a lot, and his full name is James Adams. Well, I don't know his middle name, but his name is James Adams. He was born, we're actually related to John Adams, like the second president, so that's pretty cool. He was born on January 22nd, 1945. His hometown is somewhere in California, and it's very different now from when he grew up there. It used to have a lot of gravel roads and a lot of land, and now it's got like 6-lane streets and everything. So it's very different. Before high school, as a kid, he enjoyed going outside and just messing around. He loved to take things apart and fix them, and he loved to see how things work and why they broke. His friend Jim Summers, he has known since 1951, and they're still very close. Definitely his oldest friend. They've known each other for over 70 years. In high school, he liked to play baseball, but his adopted grandma actually got him off the team because she didn't like sports and she was very controlling like that. He also enjoyed geometry and science, and he just loved mathematics. And what he remembers most about his teenage years is learning how to work on cars. His first car was a 1951 Ford four-door. His uncle gave him that car, but his uncle gave him, maybe not that car, but an old car that he was able to fix, and so that was pretty cool. His mom was a short redhead. That's exactly how he described her. And what was most important to her was her kids. He doesn't remember anything about his dad because his dad died when he was 6 years old. And he never met any of his grandparents besides his adopted grandmother, I'm assuming. He met my grandmother on kind of a blind date. He had a date with another girl, and that girl made a date with another guy mistakenly, and so there was no one to go out with that guy, so she was like, to my grandma, because she was friends with my grandma, she asked her to go with the other guy, but she didn't want to go with the other guy. She wanted to go with my grandpa, and so that was, I guess, how they met each other. And then the other couple eventually got married, and my grandparents eventually got married. That was pretty cool. Oh, and I have a picture. This is them on their wedding. They're pretty cool. They're adorable. I love them so much. And for his career, he started working at 6M, then went to college, and he got drafted, and he spent 2 years in Vietnam. And one quote that he specifically told me to write down was, he said, "I'm a Vietnam veteran, so I don't vote for commies or baby killers." And that's exactly his words, I think. And something that helped him through hard times was believing in himself. He didn't have a father figure, and he prayed about a lot of things, and eventually he came to the conclusion that you gotta believe in yourself. You make a mistake, you learn from it. If you don't learn from it, you keep making the same mistake. He said that only really big problems really test your mettle, like the questions and the things that, like your dad dying when you were 6. You gotta face up to your problems and hang with people who aren't knocking you down. You gotta solve problems every day. Some are big and most of them aren't. It can take a while to solve some of them, and some events that most shaped his life are his father dying, getting drafted into the military, and getting married, and also having 4 daughters. And he had always wanted a son, but then after his 3rd daughter, he realized he just had daughters. He had no chance. So, yeah. And he wished he had a 5th daughter. But no. Yeah, anyways. He would describe my brother as a typical boy. And his message to the 2 of us would be to trust in and believe in yourself, and don't listen to other people who are building themselves by tearing you down. And he would describe my grandmother as weird. He said they've been married for 53 years, so she must be very forgiving. She has deep emotions and she loves her kids. And she made her wedding dress, so she must be fairly smart. He would describe my grandmother as beautiful, smart, and forgiving. He said he loves her more than his 36 Ford, and that's an inside thing between them. And yeah, he's learned that people are always different. Some are easily swayed, and some people just can't understand that things aren't always what you think they are. Some are trustworthy and some aren't. People are all different. He believes what people want most in life is money because it makes everything easier. He said my dad is one of the most hardworking people he knows. And when you've got money, everybody wants it. So he thinks that the world wants more money. He said the 3 best decisions he's ever made were getting married, moving to Missouri, and having 4 daughters, and wishing he had 5. He's most proud of his family, and he said it wouldn't be a possession. Possessions come and go. Unfortunately, sometimes family does too. He said, I think I share all the messages. I always tell my family I love them, and just enjoy life as best you can. If people mess up, you gotta forgive them as you want to be forgiven. Everyone makes mistakes. We're not perfect. There's always something you wish you had done different. And he's just glad he always kept the girls in church so they know which way to go. He's most thankful for his family, and that be it. Without family, what do you have?
Thank you.